This is your boy Andrew from the Circle Square, aka Bainbridge Omega, here with another video. And here we are here to talk about Mr. Jack Perry. Gotta love me some Jack Perry. And let me tell you something here. Jack Perry is a good man. Jack Perry is a good, honest to God, good man. And the fact that he has been a victim throughout all of this is absolutely quite devastating and sad. And honestly, we really have to look at ourselves as individuals and really think to ourselves, is that really a good way to solve situations in the workplace, right? By punching someone, sucker punching them where they're not even looking, when they're not even dealing with the situation, right? So, to put it into context, AEW has been on the mouths of every single person since WrestleMania weekend. If it's not from CM Punk doing that goddamn stupid interview with Ariel Helwani, on the MMA podcast, if it isn't from Pat McAfee talking shit about AEW, if it isn't about Triple H saying that, certain wrestlers not wanting to go to WWE don't want to deal with the grind. A direct shot at Will Ospreay because he refused to go to WWE for more money, a more easier schedule so he could be with his family and that provide a better life for himself, WWE has been doing this all throughout the weekend, and people clapping like fucking seals. And you know who you are. The fucking fed heads out there. The idiots who are jokingly saying, oh, AEW is getting buried because of what CM Punk is saying. Blah, blah, blah. This is so sad. What the hell? Yeah. They were laughing about this. And yet, during the main event of night 2, no one was really talking about Cody winning the championship. No one was really talking about the main event or anything like that. No, they were talking about how the Young Bucks have footage from the CM Punk altercation with Jack Perry at All In. And they showed it on Wednesday. Now, I have to admit myself, I thought it was very cringy, right? I thought that the dealing with a real life situation and to put it on a wrestling show such as AEW, I wonder if things could have been smoothed out better, in my honest opinion. But having said that and having a look at it, I mean, it just confirms my convictions about CM Punk and the way that he acts towards people. In the video, he came across as calm and, wanting to, wanted to say, hey, what the hell is going on, blah, blah, blah. I wish we could get audio so we could see exactly what was being said. But the fact of the matter is that CM Punk sucker punched Jack Perry, put him in a chokehold. Jack Perry was trying to fix his hair. He was not even planning on squaring up against CM Punk, and he got knocked out on his ass, basically. And I know for all the CM Punk, idiots out there who was riding on his jockstrap, for years, they're going to say, well, Jack Perry deserved it. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. And our friends who are saying that Jack Perry deserved what he got, no. He doesn't. Jack Perry doesn't deserve to be out of wrestling for 6 months because he had the balls to say to CM Punk in which no one else had the balls to say to CM Punk. I don't care who you are. No man is bigger than the company, especially Phil Brooks. And I remember CM Punk saying this one particular thing about Jack Perry on a random episode of Dynamite when he was there. This is what he said.
Well, let's be honest, Jungle Boy doesn't rub anybody the wrong way. If you got a problem with Jungle Boy, chances are you're the problem. Well, let's be honest, Jungle Boy doesn't rub anybody the wrong way. If you got a problem with Jungle Boy, chances are you're the problem.
You're the problem, punk. You're the problem. You have always been the problem. You always like to stir up shit when it's not necessary. So Jungle Boy said, real grass, Crimea River. What? Do you really need to be combative about it? Do you really need to approach him? Right? You couldn't say this on a later time when we're having the biggest pay-per-view of the year in front of 80,000 people at Wembley Stadium? No, you couldn't do that any other time. No, you have to go and confront a man who just finished a grueling match, who's already tired from having this said match. You're fresh as fuck. You're going in first, right? And all you want to do is to get in his face, knock him on his ass, and what? To try to prove a point. Right. Why? Because you're CM Punk? Fuck you. Fuck you, CM Punk. How about that? Fuck you. All right? By the way, this video is not meant for children. So if you have children watching this, I'm sorry. But fuck you too for having children. No, I'm just kidding. I love kids. But the fact of the matter is this. People want to talk about victims. People want to talk about who's been in the wrong throughout the whole entire situation. Right? CM Punk is a grown-ass man. He has no right to call himself a victim of all of this. He was the bully, he was the aggressor, he was the prick, he was the asshole. I don't like people like that. I can't stand assholes, I can't stand pricks, I hate hypocrites. Tony Khan, you know what? He could have handled the situation better. Maybe he could have just suspended, both parties. Maybe he didn't have to go straight to a firing. But look how feeble he is. Does it look like there's a guy who can actually take control? Poor guy is running this company for 5 years. And I am so sick and tired of people saying, oh, this is WCW 2000. No, it isn't. WCW have been in this organization longer than AEW. WCW was not that good. Not until Hulk Hogan came in and things started firing up. AEW is still a new company that is still trying to get their footing together and trying to brand. Things are going to work, things are not. That's how the business model works. When you have a company that is brand new, and you're trying to figure out what works, what doesn't work, how we're going to do this, how we're going to do that, well, chances are you're going to have mistakes. You're going to create mistakes. You're going to have things that may seem damaging on paper, but you know what? This world, especially in terms of professional wrestling, people would remember it for one point and then they will forget it the next. And I guarantee you this, by the summer, AEW is still going to have their pay-per-views, AEW is going to still have their crowds, AEW is going to still have their wrestling, and they're still going to have their action, and nothing that comes out of CM Punk's mouth or from the video or from the stupid podcasters like JD from New York, like Jim Cornette, like Eric Bischoff, like Bubba Ray, who, by the way, took a nice little payoff from the WWE for talking shit about AEW by coming out like a fat fucking piece of shit, referee for that matchup at WrestleMania. Good job, Bubba Ray. Trust me. It doesn't matter. If you, the individual, have to listen to these idiots in order for you to make up your mind as to what program you want to watch, I feel sorry for you because you do not have a mind. You do not have a voice to speak for yourself. You're not an individual. You are a conformist. You conform. That's what you do. You conform. I do not conform. I watch WWE. I see things I like. I call out on it. I see things I don't like. I really call out on it. I see things about AEW I do like. I see things about AEW I don't like. I will call out on it. But what I will not do is be the asshole on Twitter saying AEW must die. Why? Because they talk shit to your little WWE? Oh, I am so fucking sorry. But I'm not sorry. But I am getting out of hand here. So let's just rewind back and let's really talk about the real reason why I am having this video today. And it's because of Jack Perry. Jack Perry is the true victim of all of this. He is the scapegoat for a reason. Let's go back, shall we? Jungle Boy Jack Perry. A good, kind-hearted, clean-shaven kid. Just getting to his business. His dad, Luke Perry, died. Doesn't mean much about anything. But he had some great matches in AEW along with Luchasaurus. And them being Jurassic Express, people love the duel. People love singing the song when he comes out into the ring. And then after a while, just like how the things change, you notice that your babyface type of, style is not working. You need to do something that's going to resonate with the fans. So he got into the program with Christian Cage, and Christian Cage brought him to the dark side as a heel. But when you're a young babyface and you've been doing it for such a long time, and now that you're just turning heel, chances are you're going to have difficulty trying to find your footing. And for a while, he was having that problem. You see, this was a guy who could barely speak a promo, right? He was always mute most of the time. Slowly but surely, he got more comfortable into the camera, but he still wasn't there. Something was missing. He was lacking that edge. He was lacking that instinct, that mean streak that you would expect from a heel. Out comes CM Punk. And in all intents and purposes, I think CM Punk lit a fire into Jack Perry. He lit a huge, huge fire into Jack Perry from that whole all-in footage. Jack Perry is CM Punk from 2010. Jack Perry is the type of guy who will go up against the authority, who will go up against anyone telling him something different. That's what CM Punk used to be. Now he's a corporate muncher. He's a munch. He's only a munch because he has burned so many bridges throughout his whole entire time that he has no choice but to kiss ass to Triple H and now The Rock. Two men which he shitted on his first pipe bomb back in 2010. It's amazing how things just come around full circle, right? The voice of the voiceless, the guy in which people look up to as the guy that was going to save pro wrestling from the tyranny of bad bullshit, is now siding with the said people who created that bullshit to begin with. I don't know. But the result of the whole altercation from All In resulted in Jack Perry not being able to work for 6 months because he had to be suspended. It's a sad world that we're living in, that a guy cannot even get into his own heel persona. To say the words, "Cry me a river" costs you 6 months. That's sad. That's pathetic. Fuck CM Punk. I don't care what anyone says about him. No guy should lose the right to provide for his family. No guy should have the right to not be able to work to provide for his family just because some prima donna dipshit guy from Chicago felt hurt and wanted to make an example out of him. Jack Perry hurt your feelings. Oh, poor Phil. Fragile Phil Brooks. That is the whole point of this whole thing. The whole thing was not to show that CM Punk was right in what he said in the interview. The whole point was to make CM Punk look like a fragile little piece of shit who can't take criticism, a fragile piece of shit who don't know how to be a professional, and instinctively just wants to rub people the wrong way and want to start fights because he feels like he's bigger than the whole company themselves. And then he wants to go on TV and tell you people that he's here to help the company, but they don't want my help. I remember Eddie Kingston specifically saying, they don't want you here. And at first I was thinking to myself, maybe that was just all part of the promo type of thing. But the truth of the matter is, they really didn't want him in AEW because they knew he was going to cause nothing but division. He was going to cause nothing but confusion. He was going to be a problem backstage. He was going to rub people the wrong way. And Eddie Kingston was right. Heyman was right. CM Punk rubbed people the wrong way. When he came back from Brawl Out, and Tony Khan, being the kind-hearted person he is, gave CM Punk his own show, Collision, gave CM Punk creative control, so CM Punk can basically bring people to his show, fire people from his show. Remember Ryan Nemeth? Yeah. He prevented him from having to work and provide for himself as well. Going in the ring and calling Heyman Page a peg warmer, right? Because he couldn't sell action figures in front of the whole crowd, really? He could talk a lot of shit and people just give him love and support for it. But when it comes back to him, that's a problem, right? That's a problem for all of you. That's a problem for the internet wrestling community. That's a problem for the podcasters out there. Oh, AEW's in the wrong for doing that. Damned if you do, damned if you don't, right? Again, getting off the CM Punk situation. So, what did Jack Perry do after all these 6 months? He decided to go to New Japan Pro Wrestling. And then he made a declaration to himself that he was not going to be anyone's bitch anymore when he tore up the AEW contract, which, by the way, it's all kayfabe. He is still under AEW, right? And this was all planned by Tony Khan to cool off some steam and have him go on excursion and hone on his skills as a heel, which he did. He joins the House of Torture, which is a Bullet Club subdivision, all right? Lines himself with Kenta. By the way, this is a great photo I put out there in Kenta, all right? 2 of CM Punk's worst enemies, all right? The guy who had the balls to talk shit to him, and the guy who is the true originator of the GTS, to which CM Punk stolen from him. He stole the GTS move from Kenta. Let's be real here. That is pure fact. That is well documented. Last night, in a packed house in Chicago, Jack Perry made his first ever wrestling match on American soil since the Dynamite before All In. And wow, the reactions from the crowd is absolutely amazing. Now, there were some CM Punks in the crowd. There were a ton of boos. Jack Perry came out with with riot police, with a SWAT team of police with riot gear on, all right? He came out, crazy new theme song. He had the Chicago flag waving into the air, and then he dropped it, and it revealed the jacket, Cry Me a River. He was facing against Shota Unuma, and he was feuding with him for months in New Japan before their blow-off match last night. And he did all of the favorite hits, basically, you know. He spit on the Chicago flag. There were fans in attendance chanting "Cry Me a River." At one point, even Jack Perry was doing this, signaling the GTS. And slowly but surely, just like Rocky Balboa fighting Ivan Drago in Russia, in Moscow, the hates, the boos were slowly turning into cheers, and at the end of the night, everybody was having a standing ovation and clapping for Jack Perry. They loved the new persona of Jack Perry. They love his new style. There was even a sign on the set on the pay-per-view that says Jack Perry did nothing wrong. And I have come to the notion that the all-in footage was not because of the Bucks and TK trying to retaliate against CM Punk, but you have to look at the bigger picture on this. You got to look at the larger picture. What they accomplished was two things from that video. One, the Bucks continued their feud with FTR because FTR is friends with CM Punk. And two, they are reintroducing Jack Perry back to AEW, back to the fans. Fans want to know what happened with Jack Perry. This is all by design. All right? Remember, Punk started this. He went on the podcast. He said his shit. He could have kept things silent. He could have said no comment. He could have moved things along. No, he said his shit. Everyone else, they talk shit about AEW. AEW retaliated back. They used the buzz from them talking shit to AEW to their advantage. They use the video and they're going to use it to slowly bring Jack Perry back into AEW programming once he is done with New Japan, which I believe will take place at Forbidden Door. I think by Forbidden Door, that's when we will see the return of Jack Perry along with House of Torture, leading to some type of match. And I don't know what that match will be, but now it begs the question, right? What does Jack Perry go from here? Because eventually, he can't use this whole CM Punk thing anymore. The buzz is going to go away. It's going to fade. Who is he going to feud with? Who is going to be the first person that he goes after? I don't know. I don't know, really. If I was Jack Perry, I will probably... Okay, let's think about this. Say the Young Bucks try to bring Jack Perry back into their fold to be part of the Elite. Maybe Jack Perry says no. Maybe Jack Perry goes to war against AEW for not getting his back in the midst of everything that has happened, right? I mean, let's face it. You have a bitter man who haven't gotten paid in like 6 months, who is just sitting at home, you know, wondering when he will even wrestle again just because of one man. I mean, I could just use that as a platform to say, fuck AEW. I am going to make their lives a living hell. I'm going to make Tony Khan's life a living hell. And I'm just going to cause nothing but chaos in the locker rooms. I want to cause chaos in the ring. I'm just gonna be a sick bastard. I mean, hey, that could probably work. That could probably work to all intents and purposes, basically. I'm trying to figure out who will be the first person to, you know, oh, I know, probably Edge. That could be a first feud to have there. Jack Perry always wanted to be a champion, never got the chance to be a champion. This could be the perfect opportunity for him to be a champion in AEW by dethroning Adam Copeland and becoming the new TNT champion. Plus, you also have ties between Jack Perry, Christian Cage, could make it a reappearance back, right? Along Luchasaurus, right? I mean, Kill Switch. So, and Jack Perry can probably just say, you know what? Adam Cole is just like CM Punk. Just some bum coming from the WWE, trying to get a name for himself, trying to get a check, trying to take my spot away, trying to take the young guy's spot away, blah, blah, blah. You gotta let that work. That's something that could work on it. And I know that Adam Copeland would revel in having to do a program with Jack Perry because it will accomplish two things. I mean, he will be able to go up against a young up-and-comer like him. He can even give the rub off of him. He can help him mature himself into becoming the heel he's supposed to be because let's be honest, no one does heel work better than Adam Copeland. I'll tell you that much from his Edge days. And that could be something good here. That could be something good for Jack Perry to deal with. At the end of the day, right now, Jack Perry has the whole entire wrestling world buzzing. But it's now up to Jack Perry to see how can he make himself bigger? How can he make himself run with it? And let's be honest, the CM Punk situation is going to fade and everything is going to go back to normal as it should be. We will just have to see what happens in the summer. We will just have to see what happens as the months goes on, and we'll just see, you know, what will come out between these two individuals. Keep in mind, CM Punk is still injured. We don't even know the shape he's going to be in as soon as he's cleared and he's ready to wrestle again. Jack Perry right now is really coming onto his own into New Japan. And the crowd is loving him. Being this heel, this asshole heel that he is. And we shall see how it translates with him coming back to AEW programming after the fact. Like I said, it could be as soon as Forbidden Door. It could be as soon as All Out in Chicago. That could also be another probability for Jack Perry to make his reappearance back in AEW programming. We don't know. We don't know exactly what it is, but Jack Perry deserves to be treated a lot better than how he's been being treated up to this point right now. He's only 26 years old. He's still a kid. He has room for growth. Let this kid grow. Stop vilifying him. He has done nothing wrong. Nothing. He was just a victim of being in front of an asshole. Being in front of a punk. So, if you like what you see, send me a comment, send me a like. Let me know what you think about it. Good or bad, I do not care. Just let me know what you think. And until next time, this is Andrew for the Circle Square. See you later. Peace.